Imagine a world where all children believe in the power inside themselves to overcome, to persevere, to become anything. The problem is that is not the image for all children. Content options for minority children to authentically identify with are lacking. We don't have enough empowering narratives around the Black experience. Instead, we over-index on athletes as icons, and superheroes rarely look like us. When my two children reached ages where they developed opinions around what they wore, everything revolved around character identity. I grew up in fashion. My mom was an executive in the industry, and I began my modeling career with Ralph Lauren at the age of 4. My experience as a mom, coupled with my lifelong passion for fashion, fueled my desire to solve this problem. Welcome to Royal Nation, an epic saga told through streetwear. Let me introduce you to one of the children in our story. Meet McKinley. He's from a middle-class family in New York City. During a moment alone in the gym, he imagines himself making a shot that previously resulted in losing a game. But when he makes it, the ball doesn't come back through the hoop. Instead, a crown descends, and when he places it on his head, he's transported to Royal Nation. Royal Nation is a land within a secret universe where anything you can imagine can become reality. The kids in Royal Nation are diverse, and they all have their own unique stories of overcoming adversity. Kids are consumers of apparel, but only after they have an established allegiance to content. With other brands that are marketing to children, the characters are being celebrated independently of the child. By integrating elements of the narrative into the apparel and packaging itself, Royal Nation is creating archetypes, inspiring children to make a shift from idolizing their heroes to becoming them. Our unfair advantage in the market is that we will be the only content-first children's apparel brand. This team comes with decades of experience in fashion and entertainment. I've attended 2 historically Black institutions, I have my MBA, and I've been leading as an executive in customer experience for the majority of my professional career. We soft launched as a direct-to-consumer company in August. Bringing apparel to the market first was our lowest barrier to entry, which is why we led with that and coupled it with our feature film. Future state, we will be monetizing content, and producers have already reached out and expressed interest to partner in building out the storyline for TV and film. Our current strategy is to continue producing high-caliber short films oriented around product launches, continuing the saga. The children's wear apparel market is massive, but we've pared it down by placing a hyper-focus on non-white children between the ages of 4 and 14 in 11 of the country's most diverse areas. Our 5-year goal is to obtain 1% of this market. I've self-funded over $100,000 thus far, but now I'm looking for a strategic investor partner to further content creation and product development with a $450,000 ask. With the idea that kids buy apparel in response to their allegiance to content, we need cash to continue to create content that will drive the narrative forward. This is not just a clothing brand. Royal Nation is a mission. It is helping shape the impressionable minds of children to reach new heights, to dream, and to manifest what they imagine. Join us in unlocking the power in their imaginations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, champions. Let's go.
That was such a great pitch.
It was.
That was
wasn't
such a
it?
great pitch. I mean, it was
Thank
seamless. It was
you.
clear. I have revenue questions. I think it's interesting because the primary customer for the clothing that you showed us is the parent. Is there a way to couple like the seriousness you want to portray, but also with this like new age Gen Z, I want to follow that model that does not have to do with the characters that you talked about? I wonder, like, is there an intersection there between like what you're trying to portray and how the kids view it, or do you just want to primarily go after the parents?
What I have noticed with children is that they actually have a pretty sophisticated thought process around characters and identity. And I have, if you were to watch the film that's on our website, our feature film, you'll see that there are actually creatures integrated into the story that are not just humans. So it does kind of play to the interest of children that like to have parts of stories that aren't so serious. The reason why we took a more sophisticated kind of real life approach to the content is because we knew we had to address address a real problem that needed solving, which was a more relatable hero for children to identify with, especially those who are Black, brown, and multi-ethnic, to really see themselves in characters and in hero stories. There are elements as we continue to build out the story that will be revealed that really do play to maybe a younger audience interest. But we did want to keep the brand relatively sophisticated, especially kind of playing into some of the nostalgia for parents that have followed storylines and narratives like this before, but really add some realistic elements into it. So certainly in the future, we want to be on YouTube. We see the opportunity there. Ads on YouTube will be really important for us here in the very near future because kids are consuming content on that platform.
Lauren, love the pitch. Cutest kids in the world besides
Thank
mine.
you.
So my question is around, are you starting to see more boys than girls or vice versa? Give me a sense of like gender here, and then also the interplay on age, because to the degree that you have sort of these preteens, they may be making decisions for themselves, and they tend to make decisions based on fashion wise different than, say, a 4, 5, 6-year-old. So maybe if you can address those two issues for me.
Yeah, so the sweet spot for us in the age range of 4 to 14, and I will tell you the two ends of that spectrum are actually test markets for us. So 4 years old, size 4, 5, size 14, those are really tests for us. Our kind of sweet spot is a 10-year-old. Kids generally will want to buy what they see older kids wearing, and it doesn't work really in the reverse. So we knew that bringing something to the market, we needed to really prioritize the interest and style of a 10, 12-year-old, because younger kids always want to kind of be like older kids. And so that's why our imagery is largely around kids that are 10 and 12 years old. If we had imagery with 4 and 5 and 6-year-old, it would not attract the preteen and the young, 10, 12-year-olds. So that's why you see the pictures and the lifestyle shots and the imagery in that way. And even the children that are in the narrative are around 8, 10, 12 years old. And what we are seeing is that parents who appreciate fashion and style also have a real appreciation for kind of gender neutrality with clothes. First off, it's just economical, right? Like I save clothes from my son so that my daughter can wear them when she gets older, especially if they're quality and that works and they haven't fallen apart by the time she gets to the age where she can wear them. So I really prioritize gender neutral styles so that it doesn't have to be so binary. They can make those choices and parents can feel free to kind of share between siblings. So we are seeing that both boys and girls alike are equally interested in the brand, and parents are telling me that it's appealing to all of their children, no matter the gender.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
To vote, visit Razorfy.co and select today's event. Enter your donation for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count. Your donation keeps a Black or brown woman in business. You are changing the world with Black Girl Ventures.